So God intervenes. Verse 7, come, let us go down and there confuse their language so that they may not understand one another's speech. So God comes in and breaks it up. The reason he comes in and breaks it up, listen, this is out of disobedience that mankind wanted to be on their own, wanted to build their own kingdom. Okay, understand that. Guys, if we get this, because our churches look like this today. See, are we after doing what God is calling us to do and building his kingdom or building our own kingdom? And so here, for disobedience, because God said, go out, populate, rule over the earth. They're like, no, we're going to stay right here and set up shop. So because of their disobedience, God comes down and confounds their language, messes things up, throws a wrench in the game, and then people start to disperse. He causes them to obey. Okay? Now, that'll be important a little bit later. So, if you're wondering who this guy is, this is my brother, yo. This is my brother, Pastor Charles Malawi. He's a bishop in Africa. And when I say bishop, not like Bishop T.D. Jakes or like, these mega churches. But he has multiple churches that he oversees. He's the true overseer. Okay? And when I say that, once again, it's really important because these ain't a bunch of big buildings. These are little groups, even groups of pastors, similar to what we do with Kingdom Men in Action here, all right? And so Pastor Charles has been doing an exceptional job there in Malawi. So if you ask, well, why did you go to Africa? Why did you go to Malawi? Our reason for going to Malawi, and I forgot to put that picture up, but our reason for going to Malawi was to have our Farming God's Way team meeting there. If you don't know what Farming God's Way is, it is a method of agriculture developed in Africa and Zimbabwe, and it's incredible. We're doing it down at the YMCA. But the other component is it's a discipleship tool, all right? I know I'm moving fast, but I only have a little bit of time, so I can't cover it all. You want to know more about Farming God's Way, see me after or look it up, all right? Now, our team meeting, we work in 5 countries: Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, Zimbabwe, and Malawi. So we're in Eastern Africa, these 5 countries, and we have trainers, not Americans, that go over and say, hey, we'll tell you what to do because we know because we're Americans. But instead, these are African trainers. Our trainer from Uganda, our trainer from Zimbabwe, right? And so we brought the team together to meet at this guy's house. And so we stayed with him for the week. We didn't stay in a hotel. Sleeping next to each other in beds and the whole nine. Like, this is not a glorified mission trip. Yo, this is work. This is work. But what I'm seeing is the work that's being done, accomplishing what the Bible tells us to. All right? So, why do we meet in Malawi? Because Pastor Charles has been the mastermind working with these God's love groups. And we've seen more success in Farming God's Way when people do it in a group. All right? So, our number one objective was we had 7 points, but our number one objective was to get a better grasp of the God's love groups. All right? And I'm going to show you a little bit of that as we get into this. To get a better grasp of the God's love groups, we wanted all of our trainers from the other countries to come in and see what Pastor Charles was doing and what these groups were doing so they could take it back to their own countries and have the same sort of success. Make sense? Everybody with me? Okay. So this first slide is Pastor Charles, and there he is. He's at a village called Balua. Now, in this village, there's a few different God's love groups. But the amazing thing here is that this is the village that I went to visit last year in October, where the poorest of the poor built a home for a widow. Her home was blown down in a storm, and these God's love groups in the surrounding community came together, took out of their time to build, to make the sun-dried bricks, put it up, raise an offering to get the beams for the roof, to get the steel sheets for the roof, and now this widow, this grandmother, her name is Elizabeth, She's got 5 kids, and they're not her kids, they're her grandkids, but her kids died from AIDS. So here's a widow with 5 grandkids, no way to take care of them. The God's Love Group comes through for her. This is amazing.